Thank you, Dr. Tapasum Khan, for introducing us elaborately in some of the sessions that we've had together as panelists. We've never been so elaborately, introduced, getting into all our past and things that we did. I want to welcome Maharaja Pradyot to Nagaland and also to this event. In fact, before I start the conversation that we both going to have, one note is a platform for all the indigenous communities of the Northeast, and it's a platform to amplify, empower, and ensure that our voices are heard. And it's in the framework of rights, the right to development, right to access to welfare programs, and also right to our identity within the country. And this is like first in a series of events that we are having. We will have it across the Northeast, and we will have indigenous, thinkers, actors, policymakers as part of our conversation with the communities in the region. And we would also focus on themes that impact us as citizens. Like, for instance, today is about the sixth schedule, it's about Tripura Accord. I'm happy that Daniel Lanthasa mentioned that although it's not related to Nagaland, I mean, nothing in the Constitution of India, can be said to be unrelated to any state. So I would say that sixth schedule is of importance even as a subject for us. But today, we're very lucky, in fact, to have Maharaja with us. He keeps coming to Nagaland and keeps traveling. But he's a person of interest today because he has, over a very short period of time, founded an indigenous political party. And not just founded. There's so many people who floats a party, but flops or does not make it to the big scenario or big platforms. But he's done something amazing. He's galvanized the imagination of the Tripura people. His ancestors were once rulers of that region. But today, in a democratic setup, he's galvanized the imagination of his people into a political platform which speaks for them, and he has been able to, unlike other, indigenous communities in the Northeast, has been able to unite them into a political force. So he's also been very vocal in championing issues of the region, especially northeastern region, especially the rights of the indigenous communities, and that has been the hallmark of his campaign, even though he leads a political party in Tripura. One of the differences that I would say differentiates him from other political leaders in this region is that although his political party has 13 MLAs in the Tripura Legislative Assembly, and 2 of them are ministers, he refuses to be part of that assembly. And even in the Tripura Autonomous District Council, he has given it to the most deserving candidate, especially the post of CEM. And that's how he's different from other founders of political party. He'll give us more details into that, but I want to start this conversation by asking him something which is in his mind today. When Tripura Mota started, it had the elements of Greater Tripura land, and it got amplified during the entire transition from Sheikh Hasina to Muhammad Yunus in Bangladesh, and there was this controversial statement you made about why not include Chittagong as part of Greater Tripura land. You in fact tweeted about that. So it's been taken, with mixed reaction as usual. It's just a political utterance, but it's not something, which can be dismissed lightly because it may have been part of an aspiration which was initially included when you founded Tripura Mota. How do you see whether that aspiration still remains with Tripura Mota as a political party? Thank you.
Thank you for having me here. Am I clear? Am I clear? Yeah. First of all, thank you for having me in Nagaland. Such lovely old friends here. Uh, we all, I just want to take slightly digress. We speak about corruption and how we all should raise our voice, right? That's what our panelists, Daniel and Patricia Mukim, spoke about. I don't see any AC working here. Yeah. That's corruption also. I think so much money must have gone from the government, right?
This is a private. This is a private hall, yeah.
But still, public money, right? So I think we have the right. If you are paying for it, if you are paying for a booking, if you are paying, I think public should get the comfort that they are paying for. And I think if youngsters are struggling, I feel bad also. So first of all, let me apologize on behalf of the IMC. Let me apologize, though I don't know that. You started by saying political party. Let me be very honest. Tripura Motha is not a political party. It's a movement. The day it becomes a political party, we will be finished. The indigenous people of Tripura cannot afford another political party. What we want is unity of a community so we can get our rights which have been denied to us. If we think as a political party, we will think from election to election. Because political parties need to win elections. But if you're a movement, you think about the next generation. And my agenda is to make sure my younger Tiprasa people do not suffer the way our parents or we are suffering today. What we are primarily here is to tell Delhi, this is a sentiment. And New Delhi should listen to us rather than New Delhi telling us what they want us to do. In a democracy, what Kong Patricia Mukim has said, it has to be bottom up. A teacher here has to understand what the student wants to learn. If a teacher walks into a classroom and says, this is what I want to teach without the students understanding the subject, how will you educate the students? How will there be a two-way conversation? So, I do understand what you're saying, Mmhonlumo. But the government of India has to be more sensitive to the emotion, to the sentiment of the people of India, whether it is a villager from Rajasthan trying to reach Jaipur, or whether it is someone from eastern Nagaland trying to reach Kohima. So, if the government can do that, very good. If the government cannot do it, then I think we'll have to change this sort of government, which listens to Delhi and then is becoming an agent from Delhi to Nagaland rather than an agent of the people of Nagaland to Delhi.
So, given your priorities, we are now, as you rightly put it, we have to come back to where it all started. 10 years ago, I used to see in the news media about the indigenous Tripuris in Tripura being, sometimes publicly beaten up. There was a video which went viral of a guy being beaten up in the open, in Agartala. So, and that was 10 years ago. Fast forward today, after the formation of Tripura Motha, and he calls it a movement, rightly so, we have now seen that from being victimized by people who have settled in their land, now they have taken control of their own place, and they've been able to assert, and because of that, force of unity that you have been able to, sort of mobilize. I think today times have changed. When Muhammad Yunus said that, when infiltration was happening, you were able to send your Tripura Motha youths to the border. What has changed?
We sent the Bangladesh High Commissioner back to Bangladesh.
Just tell us a little bit about that.
See, if you are scared,
there's a Bangladeshi consulate.
We told them get out of 48 hours, leave Tripura, or we will show them a different type of treatment.
So what was the government of India's response to that?
What will the government of India do?
Whatever.
If government of India cannot do, then we are there. I'm not here to take permission. If Bangladeshis are going to threaten us, am I going to wait for New Delhi to call me up and say, Pradyot, do something? No, I'm a son of the soil. I have my view. I will do what the Bangladeshis, they threatened my country. So I told them, get out. I think I didn't do any mistake. And if my country will punish me for defending my country, then my country is wrong because I think I'm doing what is right as every citizen should do. And I got so many calls, not from Tiprasas, not from tribals, not from my indigenous brothers and sisters. I got calls from the army. They called up and said, Sir, very good. We wanted you to do it and you did not, but you did it, sir. I'm very happy. I'm, so I must be doing something right. The problem is, like you said, 10 years ago, our boys and girls, it hurts me when they look at girls because we look different. We are Oriental, we are Asian looking, Mongolian looking. So they think our women are easy, we are fast. It hurts me. It hurts when people would look at our boys and make fun of them. It would hurt me when they would look down about what we ate because our food is smelly or bamboo shoot is. They would make fun of our language. They would make fun of our dress. So when I started the movement, I told my boys and girls, and I'm telling you this also today here. The first step in fighting back is not having a gun or a bullet. That is the wrong way to fight. The first way to resist someone looking down upon you is to give you an self-confidence. Today people say, what has Tripura Motha given you? My party, which I call movement. I have not been able to build roads. I have not been able to build buildings because there is no money coming in. I can't give jobs. But what I gave my youngsters, boys and girls, was anyone who touches you, anyone who makes fun of our women, our tradition, our culture, identity, we will go and we will react and we will shut those people down. It did not cost me 1 rupee. But what I gave my boys and girls, my Tiprasa boys and girls, was a sense of self-confidence that no, we will not stay quiet. This is our land, this is my country, and we will react if you try to look down upon us. Now, anyone touches a boy or girl, we have one Tiprasa right here. Anyone in Agartala, anyone who tries to make fun of our people, objectify our women, anything which happens, if they do it to us, Tripura Motha's warriors, we are not workers, we are warriors. Our warriors will be the first one to be on the ground to protect the dignity, identity, and culture of our people. And when we did that, we all came together, not as Hindus and Christians or Buddhists, not as BJP, Congress, Tripura Motha, CPM, different parties, but as one community. The bullying, the discrimination automatically came down. So, I may not have achieved much, but I've given something to my people. Self-respect and identity. And young boys and girls, if you have self-respect, you may not have as much money as Anand Ambani. You may not have as much money as some businessman's son or daughter in Delhi or Bangalore. But if you have self-respect and confidence, you are on the path to competing with everyone, regardless of how much money or how rich their mother or their father or how powerful they are. So I have given my poor boys and girls a sense of direction and confidence. And I think that is a good thing. That's what I've done.
It's a very good thing. I just want to, you please take us through the entire history of how, the Tripuris became a minority in their own land. Because if you have listened to conversations in the Northeast, a lot of times our people take the example of Tripura, how migration actually makes minorities of indigenous communities. And Tripura is taken and cited as an example everywhere. How did that happen? What are you doing through your movement to address those issues? And I remember you mentioned about privileges versus rights. How do you address that? You know, because you are the principal negotiator for the Tripura Mota, especially for the Tripura Accords. And it's something new to students from our side of the country. So, I mean, if you could enlighten us a little bit.
See, Tripura was a indigenous independent kingdom, and we were never ruled by the British. The Mughals came many times to Tripura, and every time they came to Tripura, we, the indigenous people, my ancestors, we fought and we defeated the Mughals. They could not rule Tripura. I'm talking about Aurangzeb sending army, Mughal army, Nawab of Bengal sending army. They could not defeat us. When the British came, we negotiated, but we didn't allow them to enter Tripura. So a kingdom ruled by people who look like us, we remained independent for centuries. When we became a part of India, my grandmother signed the instrument of merger. My father was the real king. You call me Maharaja, but I was just telling Auntie Pat, Maharaja may be misunderstood as a cook also these days. There are no kings in a democracy. But my father was a real king. And my grandmother was the queen regent. And we signed the instrument of merger. We were a tribal, indigenous majority state. But because of what happened in Bengal and then Pakistan, East Pakistan, Bangladesh, before it became Bangladesh, was called East Pakistan. Partition of India was taking place, and many people who belonged to Buddhist religion, Hindu religion, and Christian religion were targeted because Pakistan was created on the lines of Islam. So many people, their houses were burnt, women were raped, property stolen, murder taking place, riots taking place. So many people fled East Pakistan and they went to Meghalaya, Assam, Tripura. Because Mahatma Gandhi in 46 was still alive, had written to the Maharaja saying that please help these people, they are getting killed. Please give them shelter. The Maharaja, on the grounds of humanity, gave them shelter. Not citizenship, shelter. Because of course, people were getting killed and we all have faith in God and we believe in humanity. Whether you pray to Jesus, Ram, Buddha, Allah, when people are getting killed, you give them water, you give them shelter. Unfortunately, when Pakistan was created, many people did not go back. Instead, in 1956, 55, 58, 65, 71, lakhs and lakhs of people kept on coming. By then, the king was no longer in charge. We were a part of India. And by 1965, the population of people from outside had become 3 times that of our own people. And because the government of India thinks Northeast is very far away, they did not pay much attention. And these people started getting documents, ration cards, voter IDs, and then they became Indian citizen. When they became Indian citizens, you can then get jobs as Indians, you can become MLAs, you can become lawyers, you can become officers, and they started getting all these posts. They introduced language, mode of communication, which was comfortable to them but not comfortable to us. So writing exams became in Bengali language. So obviously our boys and girls were not so good, so we started not appearing or not passing these exams. And slowly the administration and the demography changed from a tribal state to a largely Bengali speaking state. This is the history. I understand that we cannot change the past. But like Daniel has said, Daniel Lathangsa, we can negotiate a future. So that's why I say, fine, whoever has come. But the Bengali speaking people of Tripura should acknowledge that the tribals gave them space and land to stay in their bad times when they were beaten, murdered, the women were raped, their property was taken away. So they should acknowledge it and join hands with the indigenous people to figure out who your real enemy is. And we should join hands and reclaim what was yours and what was ours instead of fighting with each other because we are Indians, you are Indians. The biggest problem is that we think that we each other are our enemies. We think that this glass of water has to be divided between a Tiprasa and a Bengali. I am saying no. This glass of water is already ours. That jug of water, that flask, is what was taken away from you and us. Let us get that back. And the moment we get together and realize who our real enemy is, we will stop fighting with each other. But the political parties, it is easy to make a Sema fight with an Angami. It's easier to make a Tangkul fight with a Ao. It's easy to make Eastern Nagaland fight with larger Nagaland. Then us coming together and fighting against those people who have kept the whole of Nagas poor, the whole of Nagas downtrodden, because we are not united. So my aim is to get people together so we can identify who are the real oppressors. But political parties don't think like that. They think short term, they think about contract, they think about, because it's easy to divide than to unite. And we will never be a great society if we keep on fighting with each other and if we keep on thinking that my real enemy is my neighbor. My real enemy is not my neighbor. My real enemy is those who makes me and my neighbor fight and keeps both of us poor.
I mean, before we move forward, I just want you to kindly shed light on, given the demographic changes that have happened in Tripura, what's the status of land rights, forest rights in Tripura?
We don't have land rights because the TLR Act makes all our people landless. And unlike in Meghalaya, where Khasis have the right of land, or Garos, or Jaintiyas, even in Dimasa Hasao, where Daniel comes from, the Dimasas have control of land in the council, or the Bodos, even the Nagas, the land belongs to you. In Tripura, the land does not belong to the indigenous people despite it being in the 6th scheduled area. It belongs to the state government because of the TLR Act. So today, if I have to give a man who has been living in his village for hundreds of years a patta, I have no authority. I have to run to the district magistrate who will then listen to his bosses and then he will decide whether this man who's been living, or this woman which has been living in a village for hundreds of years, the right of land. Today, when a national highway is made, people have been living in that road and they are evicted overnight. When they ask for compensation, companies say, show me proof that this land belongs to you, and that he or she does not have one piece of document to say this land belongs to me. So they get no compensation. Today, when Bangladeshis come in and settle down in our land, we want to kick them out. They get Aadhaar card, they get ration card, they get PAN card, and they say, I'm a citizen. And we say, but he's not been here. He's just come 5 years ago from Bangladesh. But he has all the papers. And when we go to the government, they say, Praman dekhao. Show me proof. How can I show proof? And then they say, is this your land? Show me proof. I have no proof. So, we are fighting for something as basic as this. And I will tell you this in Dimapur. I am not making a political statement. Till the last blood is not shed, till the last bullet is not fired, we will keep on fighting for our land rights. And till we do not get our land rights, we will never compromise with any government of India, whether it is from the Congress or from the BJP or from anyone. Till we do not give our people the security of our land, we will never compromise on our ideology and our demand for a better tomorrow. And this is non-negotiable.
What about the time when this act was enacted? Who was the chief minister?
It was in the Congress, Sukhmay Sengupta. And it is not about Congress or BJP or CPM. It is about, are you willing to give the indigenous people, the original people of the land, some basic security? So if your heart is small, then you will give nothing. But if your heart is magnanimous, you are grateful, you will share your resources. In absence of a big heart, I expect the government of India should not take sides. The government of India is a custodian of our rights. The government of India should be fair to everyone. We are not saying throw people out. We are saying give which is rightfully ours. And stop allowing people from Bangladesh to come in and to take away the rights of our people. Today we have, we talk about inner line permit. We stop Indians from coming into parts of our states. Right? There may be some people who are coming in through inner line permit. We stop them in airport, we stop them in the border gates, in the railway station. We stop Indians from entering parts of India. But when it comes to Bangladeshis, we are allowing them to come in. So are we even being fair to fellow Indians? So what is the policy of the government of India? If something happens in Haryana, if something happens in Kashmir, if something happens in New Delhi, that Hornbill TV guy was talking, right? Our cameras are there, full 24 hours 7. If something happens here, we do not even have a byline. So why is that?
That's in the national media.
Why? They say because we are a small state, right? Nagaland is too small, Tripura is too small, Mizoram is too small, right? That's the argument. Wrong. If something happens in Goa, it's there. Goa is also very small. Himachal Pradesh is also very small. It is not the small or the big. Arunachal Pradesh is way bigger than Punjab. Assam is way bigger than certain other states. Uttarakhand. It is that we are too far away. The tyranny of distance. We are too far away. So, if you are too far away, you do not pay attention. Monomo, I have been in a national party. You've been in a national party. How many times people have met me and said, "Oh, you're going to Kohima. I want to go to Kohima because I've never been to Manipur before. I want to go to Bhutan. It's a beautiful part of India. They don't even know Bhutan is a separate country." So people, they're not informed. And I can understand if this was happening in 1975, 1995. Today we all know in your mobile phone, Google search, you have all information. You want to know where Sayara movie is playing, in which cinema hall, but you do not want to know what the capital of Nagaland is. It is because it is not connected to your heart. So this has to end because India has to first, to become a great nation, we have to make sure that the border states are secure and feel integrated. And we have to do that.
Interestingly, you can you elucidate a little bit on the Tripura Accord is already signed, and you're discussing with the government of India about implementation. Does land rights feature as one of the main clause in the Tripura Accords?
Absolutely. Tripura Accord is not signed.
Okay.
The preamble is signed.
Preamble is signed.
Like the Naga Peace Accord, the preamble is signed. And nothing is agreed till we do not agree to their position and they do not agree to our position.
So the Brew Accord,
The Brew Accord is different. The
Yeah.
Brew Accord was when I negotiated with the government of India to ensure that the young people, which is a part of our community, our brothers and sisters, get a life of dignity, which they were not getting. It broke my heart when I saw that my young people, my Brew community was called refugee, while refugees were becoming Indian citizens. So I negotiated with the government of India and 38,000 young people got land, resettlement, financial package. I don't think it's enough. It should be more. But they got voting rights in Tripura. And today we have moved ahead. But I don't think it's enough. But it's a step in the right direction. The NLFT ATTF Accord, which I was also played a small part, was to ensure that before the Bangladesh government fell down and an anti-India government came up, now which we know, we would get our brothers and sisters who were fighting against the state of India to come over ground and fight and put their demands through the Tripura Accord for the land rights, for education, for political rights, economic rights, through the Tripura Accord. And so I got them to come over ground, played a small role. Government of India played a very big role. The NLFT and the ATTF people also played a very big role. And they've got a package and they've come over ground because I don't think that violence is the way to solve your problems. Violence will only affect, the rich never get hurt when there is violence. It's the poor who always suffer. So, before the Bangladesh government fell, and these people would be used to again, Pakistan would again, ISI would play a role in destabilizing our region. I thought it was in the interest of next generation that there is peace in Tripura, so we've got them over ground. The Tripura Accord is the final nail. And if we dilute the Tripura Accord, then I may be the Maharaja or the king or whatever, if I die and I betray my people in Tripura Accord because I will get a post of chief minister or MP, some bodyguard, some gunmen, some money, then when I die, Munumo, you'll have to find me a place in Dimapur because I will never get the respect of my people. And I would rather die today then betray my people and live for another 25 years. So that is something which has to go down to the wire, has to be negotiated, and not for what I can get today, but what I can give my people tomorrow. So that is the biggest negotiation, and it is going on, and we will see.
So, Maharaj, you said something very interesting. You said that Tripura Accord is actually a preamble.
Yes.
Accord has not been signed, but
Yes.
you've been instrumental in the signing of the Brew Accord, the Accord by NLFT and all that. Now, I just want to ask you.
It's a framework.
It's a framework. So in your framework, you've already highlighted that at the center of your framework is land rights for your people.
No, not political rights, just not land rights.
Yeah, political rights.
Political rights, economic rights,
Let me ask you something.
language, education.
Let me ask you. So I'll not get into the details, but one of the things that you've been saying in other platforms as well is that you don't want privilege. You don't want like from one bodyguard to 4 bodyguards as part of the agreement. You don't want a financial package which will last only one time, but you want to institutionalize the way finances come. Can you explain a little bit of that? Because it's very interesting to maybe the Naga communities.
No, oversimplified, I'll say I don't want lollipop. You know, lollipop, they give you a lollipop. Children are given lollipop. So I've seen the negotiations of the Nagas as well. And sometimes we, the indigenous people, the tribal people, we have one mistake. We love protocol. So you need to have, when you're negotiating with Government of India, some of our leaders will negotiate like, I want to sit in a dais, I need to have bungalow, I need to have 3 police cars in front, 2 police cars behind. I want one-time money of 500 crores. These are privileges. When you negotiate, Nagaland has 60 MLAs. You have been an MLA. So, every 5 years, 60 MLAs will get this privilege of a bungalow, of gari, bodyguard. Some people even say that in the airport, we should be, VIP room should be reserved for us. These are privileges. 60 people, whether you are from any party, you will get it. But when you are negotiating for your people, what is the population of Nagaland? 20-24 lakhs. You have to negotiate for the rights. Big difference between rights and privilege. When you negotiate for the rights of 24 lakh Nagas, that 24 lakh Nagas will also include 60 MLAs. But when you negotiate for the privilege of only 60 people, then you are ignoring the rights of 24 lakh Nagas. Today you are an MLA, tomorrow you will not be an MLA, but you will have the right. All of you will have the right. But if you only negotiate for privilege, then only 60 people will get it, and the 24 lakh people will remain the way they are remaining. My responsibility, our responsibility, is to negotiate for the rights of 24 lakh Nagas. Mahatma Gandhi did not negotiate for a house in Rashtrapati Bhavan or Raj Bhavan or Prime Minister's bungalow. He negotiated with the British for the rights of Indians. And in a small way, we have to negotiate for the rights of our people.